Hey everyone, Mike Moo here, your favorite REI affiliate. So the Labor Day sale starts today, already started. And, there were some other deals that I was really excited to announce, but unfortunately, some of them didn't quite make it through. They were rescinded, but we won't go over those because you can't take advantage of them anyway. But I feel like the biggest deals are right now just have to deal with the outlet section. I know some people were thinking, hey, let's save up and let's get the 20% off one full price item. That is not the case for Labor Day sales. That happens at 3 or 4 other occasions, not the Labor Day sale. So the next one that you might get 20% off one full price item will most likely fall around in November. That's right. November, guys. So here you get the 20% off for one REI outlet item, which don't tell anybody. A lot of times you can use multiple times. Just place the order online, spread it out across a day or two, and you can take advantage of that. So if you're an REI member, you can save 20% off one outlet item, and please use my links down below, but use a coupon code Labor Day 2025 already shows up in your cart when you add the item. So for instance, the Smart Wool Feel Good thing right here, you add that to the cart. Then when you're at the cart checkout, you will see it right over here. Use the code, click on redeem, and you will see the price here, which reflects the one item in your cart at the time coupon. Now, again, it says one item, but if you go back and shop multiple times throughout the day, throughout the sale, you can probably use it at least another time or two, maybe 2 more times. At least that's what's been the case. Officially, it's only one item, but I have found that I've been able to do this multiple times. So just something you should know. Now, as far as the sales concerned, you have a lot of the typical things that have been on sale with a couple of new different brands on here. You're always going to find REI Co-op brand items as part of the sale, and it is usually 25% off or more. So in that case, you also have 30% off REI co-branded selected clothing and accessories. For North Face, you might also get up to 30% off as well. You got Darn Tough socks, 25% off. The Thule and Yakima racks are actually usually on sale on just about every major season after camping season. So 20% off seems to be pretty standard. Unfortunately, I think with the tariffs, even with the 20% off, some things you might notice have increased in price just a bit. And we have Donald Trump to thank for that. I'm not going to get into politics here, but the discounts could have been a little bit better if it weren't for the additional tariffs on here. Now, these things often before the summer, a lot of these things that are 20% off do sell out. I don't think that's going to be the case now, especially with the discounts. But, you should always get these deals in a little bit earlier, if at all possible, particularly if I know there's a 90-day hold on increasing the tariffs from 30% to 120, 30, 45% or something like that. So 90 days from now, who knows? This whole thing could change up if they can't figure out some sort of deal with the tariffs, since most of this stuff is imported, whether it's from China or some other countries. And I'm talking about the Thule Yakima stuff in particular. But, the high-end brands use Vietnam for their textiles, and the making, a lot of it is made in Vietnam. And that's, of course, part of the tariffs. I think they're already negotiated on that. And so there's already increase already built in here. So it makes it even more important than ever to, if you do want some of this camping gear, to get it earlier and also to get it with an extra discount wherever possible. I'm interesting to find that the shop services are an extra 50% off for tire installation or tubeless service. So if you bike with a tubeless bike, or you want to switch to tubeless and your bike is capable of anything like that, then you get an extra 50% off. Now, for the REI outlet deals, it looks like, at least when I was shopping a couple of days ago, some of the best deals happen to be with Helinox, because Helinox is, one of those premium brands that have really cool lightweight camping stuff. There were 10 different things in here, and these all qualify for the 20% off, of course, extra 20% off. So that's something to consider if you always wanted one of these. The extra 20% off really, really helps with this more expensive stuff. Recently, I got the side table, and I got to say it was more useful than I thought it would be. Mostly because it sets up super easy. It weighs next to nothing. You put it in your pack, you won't even feel it. Packaged weight, including the cinch bag, is only 9.6 ounces. The table weighs just 8.48 ounces. And I can attest to the fact that it can hold 4 pounds worth. Probably more than that. Probably you shouldn't do more than that, but I did that. We used it on a camping trip. I used it to hold my OXO dish rack along with dishes in there temporarily. It worked out pretty well. Also took it by the riverside. It's great. They have an even bigger one, which I did not get a chance to use this past camping trip. It is $43. Really what you're getting with a lot of Helinox stuff is really decent design, super lightweight, and good quality. That's what you're paying for. The problem is $60 for this piece of plastic, and the basically lightweight tent pole seems like a lot. So 20% off really helps in that case. I haven't tried a speed stool before. I'd be interested in trying it out if it weren't so dang expensive. And if I could see it in person, I guess maybe that might make more sense. But anyway, 20% off makes a lot of sense for a lot of these things, particularly if you value lightweight and good design. They're often copied, though. So if you do want something really cheaper and you don't mind it weighing quite a bit more, I suggest you check out your local Costco. They have copies of Helinox and Nemo stuff that is not quite there. I want to say functionality-wise, it kind of gets there, but it weighs a lot more and not as easy to put together. And yeah, basically you're paying for the good weight savings and the design when it comes to this fancy stuff here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not as much as you would think. There's pants and shorts from Prana, Cool and More, backpacks from Osprey, Gregory and more, and they're all basically up to 25% off. That's the deal here. I did look at the bikes. There are some bikes that are on sale all the way through the end of August. Unfortunately, a lot of the good ones that I would suggest checking out were already sold out, at least in my local REI. And I'm over here in Sunnyvale, but I was looking around in other places too. So it's worthwhile to check periodically because new stock does come in and out, and we don't really get announcements on when new stock comes in for whatever reason. That's not one of those things that is built into the website, at least to notify, so you just kind of have to look. But I just went into my local REI, and it looks like they cleared out of a lot of bikes, so they must have sold a lot of bikes recently, and which is great. More people out there riding. But at the same time, that also means that the selection is not so hot. Yeah. So unless you're looking for at least in my local shop, if you're looking for a co-op branded bike, you're probably better off checking out other local bike shops for some deals. I know there's a lot of deals that still go on for Labor Day and beyond, or the end of summer sale, whatever it is that you want to call it. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. The 20% off, come back, order something, just put in one item from the REI outlet, wait another day, come back in, order another item, and you can use that multiple times. Don't tell anybody I told you. Also, there are limited time deals as well. I think part of this is something worth considering. Is not advertised necessarily in the Labor Day sale. So you can see what the best-selling things are, which I'm always interested in seeing what some of these things are. So like the Garmin InReach Mini 2, looks like it's a best-selling item. Why not? $349.99. You want to get this on sale anyways. This is a life-saving gear. The ultralight insulated sleeping pad is great for backpacking. I had no idea that the SkyCamp tents came back. I know iCamper was being sold sometimes in and out, but man, it looks like it's a really popular item. This sale ends September 8th, though. So these limited time sale items are not specifically necessarily part of the Labor Day sale, but it is here nonetheless. And some of these, it also lists some of these. The new X5 came out. It is not on sale like this, but I think it's still like $4 or $5.19, which is pretty standard anywhere else. Cool clothes I like to see. I like it. It's very expensive. Always get that on sales in particular, because otherwise I feel like it's not worth the money. Even though today I was just wearing a cool shirt to work, and it's summer. It is cool, easy to wash, dries pretty fast. So yeah, okay, maybe it is worth the money. So the Insta360 X5 is 5% off. This I tried. It's actually pretty comfortable. I was really surprised by having this thing. It's purely for car camping, of course, only. You're not going to be backpacking with a whole love seat like this. But I think you get this price elsewhere as well. It's not REI exclusive or anything. It's good to see a lot of cool stuff available on sale. It's interesting that these are the best-selling items right now. This is what people out there shopping are looking and they're buying. That's what we got going on here. Oh, boat. About $1,000 for a whole setup. I'm seeing more and more people on these over here in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is cool. It looks like fun. Haven't tried it out yet. Half Dome 2 for $224. This matches a previous discounted price earlier in the year. But yeah, some of these prices have gone up. I don't believe this was this high, but I could be wrong. Yeah, with the 25% off seems a lot more reasonable, but yeah, I want to believe it was cheaper than this before. Delta Pro 3's EcoFlow is knocking out of the park. They are just about everywhere, and their discounts abound everywhere as well. And Delta Pro 3 is one of their newest ones. Highly recommend EcoFlow stuff. If you can't find it here at REI, I have a different link posted up here. I think it's just go.mikemoo.com/EcoFlow if you want to support. It is an affiliate link. Of course, doesn't cost you anything. I do love EcoFlow stuff. Almost everything that I use now is EcoFlow. Almost everything. It's particularly for camping. Trail hiking shoes. Flexlight camp chair is not bad. This is basically a copy of the other brands like Helinox, but a little bit different. Totally 20% off. All right, so those are the best-selling items at this point, which I find kind of interesting. Ortlieb, you can't go wrong with those as panniers in the back for your bike. Unfortunately, they are not necessarily the lightest. They're just a good general. This is pretty much the gold standard, and $149.99 is not a bad deal to get. Of course, just a ton of clothing items. There's a reclining backpacking seat. I haven't seen many people use this out in the wild, but if you're car camping, you don't need to get this. You can get something more comfortable, a lot heavier. But having that reclining chair at the end of a backpacking trip, or you're hiking all day, that really is something to consider. Here we go, full size, the SkyCamp 3.0 tent, not the mini. Still ouchy, as expensive as ever. Haven't got one of these. Haven't been inside one of them. They look amazing though, and for that price, they better be. Yeah, $4,000. These are the hard shell ones. Yeah, hard shell. Stick it on top. Leave it up there all season because it's really heavy to take in and out. Honestly, I am looking for one of those rooftop tents that is inflatable. Let me know if you tried out one of those before. Looks like a really great idea. Concern is those things popping or just not lasting very long. The Grail, $80. This is great as a water purifier. I have multiple versions of them. I use them for travel. Really good. Wave 3 portable air conditioner. I believe, well, this is the latest version. $1,039 is quite pricey. I think they upped their BTUs to be about 6,000, but man, is it comfortable. Way more comfortable to have an AC unit when you're out and about where it's really, really hot. So it went up about 1,000 BTU. It drops 15 degrees in about 15 minutes. This is good for like personal, maybe up to 4 people in a small enclosed space. Keep that in mind. 6,000 BTU. Doesn't go quite as far as you would think, depending on how well insulated or not insulated your vehicle is. So if you got a standard van, it is not insulated. This will do okay in a standard minivan. In full-size van, in full heat, 100-degree weather, it's not going to feel like a refrigerator in there. It just simply can't. The BTUs just don't match up with something in direct heat or direct sunlight, direct sun. But it'll definitely be a lot more comfortable than without it. I'm just saying. Some people have unreal expectations about it. Just remember about the BTUs. And another thing about this is that, just so you know, I owned the Wave 1. I own the Wave 2 right now. And I have not tried the Wave 3 yet. But it looks very similar other than the higher BTUs. But generally, when you're using it, the best way to use this is with the extra hoses. So this might look relatively small, but once you put the hoses on and everything, it actually takes up a lot of space. Let's keep that in mind. I do like how quiet it is and how it can go from very little power usage to all the way to the max at 6,000 BTU, and it handles it fairly well in between. It does a pretty decent job. So you can use as much energy as you can give it, and it would also tailor down too so that you can get the most use out of it. That price, $1,039, does not include an optional battery pack that this thing would slide on top of. Just so you know, it's still quite pricey with it all said and done. Yeah, there's some pretty good deals. Not amazing, but pretty decent deals. Anchor and EcoFlow are definitely right at it. We have the FlexLight Camp Dreamer chair. This is about the same price as last time, just different colors now. So that's really good. I can recommend that. Wow. This is like $100 for a camp pillow. I think I'd rather just bring my own pillow at that price. But hey, if you have one, you think it's worth the money, let me know. Apparently, a lot of people think it is. 74, 4.8 stars review. Oh, I see. So the small one's $60 some. Large one is $103. And there must be some magical stuff in there. Travel pillow, shredded memory foam, and polyester. Wow, that's expensive. If you get a good night's rest, it might be worthwhile. I mean, you think that's expensive over here in California, at least on the weekends. Getting a nice hotel room is about $300. Insane. Insane. That's just, I guess that's just the world we live in. So why not have a $100 pillow when you're out camping that you can use multiple times and is yours? I have the camp roll table. Used it very recently at a camping trip over in Big Sur. I like it. I recommend it. $62 is not bad. $62, $63. I believe I paid roughly that price too last time it was on sale. easy to put together, folds away well, obviously for car camping, not for backpacking. Not a bad choice. The Dragonfly Osmos are also really good, often very highly rated. So is the Wonderland 610. I've seen people use this a couple of times. I've seen the setup. It looks pretty involved. It takes a while. If you like setting up tents, this is one of those things that will take a while to put together. But it's got a lot of flexibility. You can add on certain things to this, and you can segregate the different rooms. So there's some good ideas going on with this tent. And for the price, I guess $375 is not too bad at all for a 6-person. And if you like the flexibility of segregating and setting up individual rooms in there, that's not bad too. But I prefer a faster setup. And look, it says spacious interior that divides into 2 rooms for privacy. I suppose that could be something that people want. $375 is not a bad choice, though. Dometic powered coolers and ice maker for $1,000. Not bad, not bad. This is good. I recently got one of these, and it was roughly about the same price too. So this sale price is probably, you can expect it to happen again in a month or two. So if you don't need one yet, that could be something you wait on. I also got the Xped Mega Pump last time. I recommend it. It's really good. I wish that these little adapter silicone hose things were sold and easily able to be purchased separately. Okay, excuse moi. Okay, so it seems like I've got run out of time. Got to take my mother-in-law to the airport, have some dinner. Let me know if you guys find any really great deals. Some of these, I feel like they keep coming back over and over again, like the same thing, 20% off Dometic stuff, right? 25% off of REI stuff, 25% off of Ortlieb. Actually, that kind of only happens maybe twice a year, which is, still enough, but it looks like we're just getting around the 20 to 25%. Some things are a little bit higher than before. Mainly, I really think it's because of some of the tariffs that are affecting certain categories of items that are being sold here. Okay, all right. Please just like, subscribe for more. We'll catch you next one. I'm hoping you get some great deals, and more importantly, go outside and enjoy. Catch you next video.